Investors are missing out on billions of dollars when they switch jobs. The reason is that many end up pulling their retirement savings out of the stock market, often without meaning to. This was the subject of a recent Wall Street Journal article, which I think is important to talk about today. Many workers, when changing jobs, roll their 401k balances out of their employer plan and into an individual retirement account, or IRA. Many also, unwittingly, leave the balance in cash, which can be a very costly mistake. Hi, I'm John Gigliello, and you are listening to Invest in Knowledge, a podcast about all things financial. After a life-altering health issue at age 39, my calling in life became clear: to share my knowledge of personal finance with people who are looking to make smart and responsible choices with their money. Only through education, action, and accountability can you build the confidence and security you need to live a satisfying life. Now, today I want to talk about the options workers have for their retirement savings when changing jobs and how to avoid those costly mistakes. When you leave a job where you have accumulated retirement savings in a company plan, such as a 401k, you may have several options. You can leave the funds in the old employer plan. You can transfer it to your new employer's plan. You can roll it into an individual retirement account, or you can cash it out. Now, there are pros and cons for each option, which are unique to each individual and their situation. But that's a discussion for another day. Whichever option you choose, there was one big mistake, and that is leaving the money in cash. When people roll 401k balances from their old company's plan into an individual retirement account, the money is frequently held as cash until they select new investments. However, many never do, according to new research from Vanguard Group. Nearly a third who rolled savings into IRAs at Vanguard in 2015 still had the balance sitting in cash 7 years later, according to the Journal article published on July 22nd. Americans with cash-heavy IRAs give up more than $172 billion a year in retirement wealth they could have generated by investing in stocks and bonds, the Vanguard study estimates. This mistake is common and costly, especially for younger workers who risk missing out on years of potential gains, which compound over decades to build retirement wealth. However, it is still important for older savers to be exposed to the stock market as well, to help their money outpace inflation and last throughout retirement. Now, I use this story all the time with my clients, and I tell them that my mom was 89 years when she passed away, and I still had her invested about 35% in some form of an equity or stock investment. You just need that continued growth in the portfolio, honestly, no matter how old you are. Now, the study showed that more than 50% of workers aged 20 to 29 still had their IRA in cash 7 years after rolling it over. By comparison, less than 25% of workers over 60 years old left their retirement savings in cash that long. The huge sums unintentionally kept in cash are a growing concern since IRAs have become the dominant way in which Americans accumulate their retirement savings, said Fiona Gregg, Global Head of Investor Research and Policy at Vanguard and a co-author of the study. IRAs have $14.3 trillion in assets versus $11.1 trillion in 401k type plans, according to the Investment Company Institute, the fund industry's trade association. As I mentioned, there are several options for handling retirement savings when leaving jobs. You can keep your 401k balance with your old company, roll the money into a new employer's 401k plan, or move it into an IRA instead. An IRA typically gives savers more options for where to invest their money, but that money usually is not automatically invested in the market. When you roll your 401k account into an IRA, the company that administers the 401k often sells your holdings, then moves the cash into your IRA. Workers are often accustomed to their contributions being automatically invested with their 401k plans, but with many IRAs, that's just not the case. It is up to the individual or a financial advisor with whom they work to direct how their funds will be invested, and if no selections are made, the account remains in cash. While rollovers account for a significant portion of the assets in IRAs, some people do make annual contributions. Among investors who contributed to an IRA in 2022, more than half stayed in cash for at least 12 months, the Vanguard study found. Some account owners put off making decisions about where to put their money because they are overwhelmed by the thousands of investment options IRAs offer, said Andy Reid, head of investor behavior research at Vanguard and a co-author of the study. Others mistakenly assume the company that serves as custodian for their IRA, such as a Vanguard or Fidelity, will automatically invest their savings for them, as many 401k plans do, Reid said. In a recent survey of over 500 Vanguard IRA clients who completed a rollover in 2023 but were still in cash in June, 68% did not know how their IRA money was invested. But it's not all bad news. Since the Federal Reserve began raising interest rates in 2022, cash-like investments have gotten a boost. Money market funds now pay annual interest of about 5%. By comparison, they were close to zero as recently as 2021, the journal reported. But a 5% return is still less than the potential gains in the stock market long term. Since 1926, U.S. large cap stocks have gained an annualized 7.19% after adjusting for inflation versus just 0.31% for cash, according to Morningstar Direct. As baby boomers retire and younger workers switch jobs, the dollar's move to IRAs from 401k type accounts ballooned to $701 billion in 2023, up from $404 billion in 2013, according to research and consulting firm Cerulli Associates. A 2006 law allows 401k plans to automatically enroll workers in diversified portfolios, such as target date funds. The researchers at Vanguard now want policymakers to address the cash issue by extending to IRAs the same legal protections. Vanguard is the largest provider of target date funds, according to Morningstar. Such a policy could add more than $100,000 to the average IRA balance by the time an investor under 55 reaches age 65, Vanguard estimates. This may be a significant improvement, but Congress would have to weigh concerns over important questions, such as fees on IRA default funds, before enacting changes. As always, we urge you to reach out to a professional to discuss your particular situation and goals. We always encourage you to take part in the financial planning process to pursue a confident financial future and, in turn, feel optimistic and proud about your accomplishments. Knowing that I've provided education and a plan for my clients has allowed me to turn my own personal challenge into a gratifying journey. If you have any questions about this topic or any financial matters, please don't hesitate to contact me at the Albany Financial Group. Stay tuned for our next episode of Invest in Knowledge. But until then, thanks for listening and make it a great day. The facts and statistics in this episode were derived from a Wall Street Journal article titled "The 401k Rollover Mistake That Cost Retirement Savers Billions" by Ann Turgeson, published on July 22, 2024. John Gigliello is a registered representative with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Private Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. Private Advisor Group and Albany Financial Group are separate entities from LPL Financial. This material is for general information only and is not intended to provide a specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Individual tax and legal matters should be discussed with your tax or legal professional. Investing includes risks, including fluctuating prices and loss of principal. No strategy assures success or protects against loss. All performance reference is historical and is no guarantee of future results. Contributions to a traditional IRA may be tax deductible in the contribution year, with current income tax due at withdrawal. Withdrawals prior to age 59 1/2 may result in a 10% IRA penalty tax in addition to current income tax.